Hello, this is Mole Man in the morning. Good Mole Man to you.
Hello and welcome to Mole Man in the morning.
I didn't think of one. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I got my other thing done, but then I forgot to do a good mole. I could do the traditional one. Good mole man to you. There you go.
Cool, that'll do.
That
Fine.
felt very phoned in.
John got me with his fucking meme bullshit.
Hello and welcome to Mole Man in the morning. We are a podcast about how The Simpsons has a lot to say about society. I am your host, John, and I am here as ever with my two high-flying co-hosts, Michael.
Adley ho, podcasterino.
And Matt.
Step right up, folks, and witness the magnificent medicinal miracle of Simpson and Sons patented revitalizing tonic. Put some ardor in your ladder with our energizing, moisturizing, tantalizing, romanticizing, surprising, hair-prizing, revitalizing tonic.
Nice. Well done.
You see, if you'd have done that at the point of the actual episode when we're doing this review, that would have been very impressive.
Yeah, I am like remarking at the contrast there in the how unprepared you are at the Mole Man line, but how prepared you were for that line.
Because I usually write those down.
Oh, okay.
I don't, I usually come up with the mole man on the spot, because I always forget about it.
Right, fair enough. Okay. We are here today to look at Season 6, episodes 10 and 11, Grampa versus Sexual Inadequacy and Fear of Flying. This is an episode that came up on one of the Simpsons box set videos that was like allegedly it was too hot for TV, which was supposed to be like censored or banned episodes. And I don't think Grampa vs. Sexual Inadequacy was banned.
No, I don't have a recollection of anything in it.
I don't know if it got censored somewhat. I didn't.
I can
find...
imagine it got censored. I feel like there's enough Marge side boob to censor.
How dare you? I need my Marge side boob.
Did we discovered that Marge has her own article on WikiFeet, right?
Yeah,
we
we've
discovered
discussed
that.
this many times.
I think
Yep,
so.
Jesus
yes,
Christ.
yeah.
Jesus
well covered.
Christ.
Yeah, you will be surprised. An episode called "Grampa vs. Sexual Inadequacy" has some sexual bits in it.
Really? I didn't notice.
Heaven
You saw the censored version.
Was that why it was only 10 minutes long?
Yeah, you only saw the back half where it became snake oil salesman. You missed the entire setup.
He thought they were all just being reverse vampires.
Yes, yeah. There's an episode about reverse vampires. The title was really weird.
It's very confusing.
And I still haven't found anyone to cook my dinner for me.
But before we get into either of those, let's take a look, as we ever do, at what we've all got in our fridges and or are drinking generally.
I am drinking McEwen's Champion. I've never tried it before. It is a premium Scottish beer, apparently. I bought it in Tesco, so how premium can it be? But yeah, it looks good. It's a dark beer, which I wasn't expecting. So I have my nice glass right here, so let's give it an old sippy sip. Oh, that's fucking Scottish.
In what sense?
Oh, it's very bitter. It's nice.
Okay.
I like it. It's nice. Very nice. Definitely understand why it was next to Guinness on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
It's very nice.
Okay, good. Glad it's good. Michael?
I've gone the other way, so I'm visiting Ireland.
Ooh.
I am drinking Jameson's.
Ah, yes, the opposite of Scotland, Ireland.
The opposite of beer, whiskey.
I'm not wrong on either count, am I?
No, you're not. Carry on.
Yeah, but I'm just drinking whiskey neat because it's full of
Oh,
nuts.
damn, Michael.
Well, we're in a Grandpa kind of mood, I guess.
Yeah.
And as we have established, only Grandpas drink whiskey.
Or stout.
I'm more or less there.
Well,
What
if
are
you
you
want a
drinking, John?
stout, if you want a stout, I've got Vocation Brewery's Naughty and Nice White Chocolate and Raspberry Stout.
Why?
Surely white chocolate cannot work in a stout.
Yeah, white chocolate.
It is not abundantly clear from the label. It has only become apparent upon pouring it that it is, in fact, a white stout.
I've never had a white stout.
Is it legitimately white?
It's a pale beer. It's light in colour. It's a yellowy
Okay.
sort of shade.
I was about to say, if it was white, that would have been achievement of the year.
I think they just sold you water, mate.
That is a Oh, that is a strange combination. Jesus.
Yeah, I
Fucking hell.
looking at that color, any of the I think I might have had white stouts before. Like looking at the color and the head on a white stout, yeah, they're very much not my jam.
So to
from
do
what I
the
recall.
beer nerd thing, your white stouts are not a common thing that many people make, but generally you make a pale beer and you put coffee in it to make it taste roasty like a stout. And then
Right.
usually a lot of people fuck with it in other interesting ways, like, say, I don't know, white chocolate and raspberry.
I think beer is a great example of how companies feel this needless urge to innovate.
Yeah, yeah.
Beer has been basically perfect since monks started brewing it as a pastime.
Beer has been mostly perfect since they found hops, I would suggest, but yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, this is very much emblematic of late-stage capitalism, unfortunately. This beer.
What we need to do,
An error has been made.
what we need to do is, if we ever do get successful enough to have a Patreon, is have a Patreon goal that is just go on an adventure to find a foofy beer that Matt enjoys. Because yeah, I mostly drink the most boring bog stand. The most exotic thing I drink is just because it's from Japan, and that's about it. But John, I respect your desire to drink crap.
I mean,
what a ringing endorsement of friendship that is.
I mean, I mostly only seek it out for podcasting entertainment purposes. Like, I probably would never have bought this if I wasn't like,
Yeah.
I need something that sounds interesting to drink on a podcast. My latest round of beer acquisitions does have a lot more normal beers in it, so I will run out of stupid stuff shortly and start drinking like things that actually have hops in them for once. But
Ooh, daring, are we?
Gotta build up.
Alrighty, let's dive on into a couple episodes. So, Grampa versus Sexual Inadequacy aired on December 4th, 1994. Have we got any news from this day?
I am still alive.
Well done.
Good.
Thank you.
I expect this to continue, honestly.
Nah, there's going to be a weird part around 2020.
Okay. Okay, so the historical events of the day. The 83rd Davis Cup, Sweden beat Russia.
Well done.
The Kennedy Center honors Kirk Douglas, Aretha Franklin, Morton Gold, Harold Prince, and Pete Seeger.
That's a lot
for
of
them.
people to honor all at once.
I have no idea how many they typically honor in any given batch, so good for them. Cool. Don't know if that's a lot or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff is happening. The world continues.
That's your lot.
Music.
Yes, the US number one, On Bended Knee. Boys to Men is still your number one.
Still going.
On bended knee. What
But
a
the
name.
end is in sight, folks. Spoilers.
Gasp.
And guess what the UK number one is?
I've already looked at it, so I'm not going to guess.
Yeah,
I don't know the bit, so I'm not sure.
it's a phenomenal Christmas classic. Stay Another Day by East 17.
I'm sure I've probably heard it, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. How does that one go?
Baby, you got to go away.
Yes, of course. Yeah, that still gets played now. Well, I say now, but like at Christmas time. Yeah.
Yeah, it still does around.
Stay another day. Yeah.
My favourite thing about that band is one of them somehow managed to get himself run over by his own car.
Oh, that's impressive.
Haven't we all? My mum's favorite Christmas song is "I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas." If you've heard
Okay,
it, that's
Christmas.
a
I
very
have
old song.
not heard that one, no.
That's a very old one.
Surely the classic Christmas number one is still Mr. Blobby.
She also likes what's he called? The Christmas donkey. Jiggity jig. Ee-aw, ee-aw.
Yeah. Cannot remember what the donkey's called now, but
yeah,
yes,
is it like
another
Ollie?
one.
I'm now just thinking of the Duck Orville, which has nothing to do with anything.
My favourites Wish I Was at Home for Christmas. Dubba dubba dum dum dubba dubba dum
Dominic
dubba
the
dum
Donkey.
dum dubba dum dubba dubba dum dubba dubba dum. I love that one. Anyway,
Anyway.
The actual episode.
Cool.
there's not much to
Okay.
say about this.
December 4th is
episodes, so-
boring. What happened in The Simpsons on this day?
Well, the chalkboard gag was a bit ambitious. My homework was not stolen by a one-armed man.
Is this like a one-armed bandit reference?
I guess.
I mean, that's a gambling, like, it's like, that's a fruit machine, so I don't know if it would be, but that's the first thing that comes to mind.
I just thought Bart had been robbed by Herman.
So
Oh, yeah.
I thought I thought I'd heard this one before, and indeed I have, because that actually apparently is a repeat from Bart Gets Famous for some reason. For some reason they recycled the chalkboard gag. Don't know why.
Yeah.
And also that one, if you click on the episode link, the citation for that one sends you to The Fugitive. Apparently it's a reference to The Fugitive. Somebody somewhere reckons for some reason.
I have not seen The Fugitive, so that will be it.
So yeah, don't know. I guess that might be what that is.
But the couch gag is the family keep running. They get some very sinister looks on their face as they just keep running past the sofa again and again.
Yep, got a chuckle.
Yep.
Bit of a laugh.
The episode begins with Homer and Marge in bed, and Homer is watching the $1,000 movie.
Once again, the
$1,000
TV just
movie.
randomly being in the bedroom for no reason.
Because they want to watch TV in bed.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
they
that
just
means
bring
he
it
has to
up.
carry it all the way upstairs, man.
I fully
Hey.
believe The Simpsons would own more than one TV.
Hey, if I wanted to watch Good Time Slim, Uncle Doobie, and the Great Frisco Freakout, I would bring my TV upstairs too.
Well, no, because normally in that position that is Marge's vanity, right? Not the concept, the actual furniture item.
Yeah, no, I realised this.
The concept of Marge's vanity lays upon the
Just
foot
on the
of the
wall.
bed.
I think they just need what they need for the setup of the episode.
Oh, of course, it is as always for the bit, but
Yes.
still.
It's fluid. So we see this movie actually stars Troy McClure. It's a Starsky and Hutch kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the man next to Troy is panicking because they've got a bag of stolen diamonds and not the stash.
There's more
This
than
pops-
one way to get high,
Baby.
baby.
And we see him.
Was Troy McClure in the last episode? Because I don't remember seeing him in the next episode, and he normally comes in batches.
Oh, it's been a while. I can't remember.
Homer Badman was the last episode. I don't remember Troy McClure or Lionel Hutz being in Homer Badman. No.
No, neither
But
do I.
usually, but it's
No.
usually like together in the episode. They usually have like for some reason actor and lawyer show up in the same
Well,
Yeah,
episode.
also. Yeah.
They may not have had him record episodes in sequence, or they might have just changed things around. Because he definitely does appear again. in
exactly.
Well, just because they've got him
later
in doesn't necessarily mean he has to be both characters in each episode, you know?
No,
Yeah.
but like I said, normally like we'll get 2 episodes in a row with
Yeah, it has
either
happened a lot in
Lionel
the
Hutz
past,
or
yeah.
Troy McClure.
Yeah, maybe they just wanted Phil Hartman to just do this one line.
Maybe, yeah, absolutely.
So we see that Homer's very engrossed in the movie as Marge is trying to get something going on. There'll be a lot of that in this episode. And Homer says that Homer tries to show her off because how often does he get to see a movie of this caliber?
He's only seen it twice before.
On late night TV.
Yeah.
Not just that he
How
gets to
much-
see it, but that it's on late night
Oh,
TV.
yeah. How often do you get $1,000 movie this late on TV?
Yeah. So Marge asks Homer if something's wrong, and Homer's response is he's only seen this movie twice, and he's seen Marge every night for the last 11 years before he catches himself.
Yeah, bloody fucking hell, man. That's digging and all.
Homer gets himself out of the hole by saying, well, we'll snuggle tomorrow. So we cut to a month later, and Homer has gained some weight. Mostly because he's
What
been
is it,
eating
chimichangas?
enchiladas.
Enchiladas, that's it.
Yeah, you got Marge laid on the bed and
Enchiladas.
wearing sexy thing, and then Homer's like, oh, enchiladas.
I love that his button pops.
You know,
Yeah.
that was one of the best things there. So we cut to later that year. Homer and Marge are finally in bed. Sexy time. We get some side boob, and
Tasteful side boob, Michael.
Yeah,
Tasteful side
yes.
boob.
unfortunately Bart runs into the room, panicked, and Marge and Homer have to say, don't turn off the light, don't turn off the light.
Don't turn
And
on
Bart
the
thinks-
light.
So Bart thinks there's a UFO outside his window and pinpoints this by saying seriously. We then go to Bart's room and see that's actually a golf umbrella, which swoops in and hits the window. Bart asks if he can sleep in their room.
I
and
like
Marge-
how it's making the UFO noise as well, though. Like if you hear it, you can hear it doing that like.
It's making an unnatural noise.
Yeah.
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 Bart asks if he can sleep in their room, and Marge firmly says no.
No.
But then asks if he can sit on the roof of a baseball bat in case a UFO does come. Marge responds as the, yep, that's fine.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, just fucking go away.
So we see Marge come back into the room, and in the background we can see Bart climbing the drain pipe.
Yeah. Again, if you think about where, again, for the bit, I understand it, whatever. But like, if you think about where the Simpsons bedroom, the parents' bedroom is
The layout
in the
of the
Simpsons
house,
house, where is that drain pipe?
Yeah, the house doesn't like have any angles in it. Like they're not
That
looking
would-
at another bit of the
yeah,
house. Yeah, there's
that
nothing
would
for
see
Bart to
that.
climb there.
Also,
No,
it's
for the
impressive
bit.
Bart does this one-handed because he is holding a baseball bat.
Also that
Hey, the fear of a UFO is gonna drive you forward.
to climb one-handed through thin air. Yes.
Absolutely. He also watches a lot of Arnie films that inspire him.
Well, Marge comes back and hopes that the homey fires are still burning. They're not. Homer has fallen
Homie
asleep.
fires.
So Marge has to wake him up, and Marge says they need to discuss the marital difficulties they're having. Homer laments the fact that there's too much pressure with his job, kids, traffic snarls, political strife home and abroad. That promises Marge once all those things are settled, they'll have sex.
Marge cannot wait that long.
Yep.
Yeah, I love her response of just, well, I can't wait that long. It's like, fair.
Marge suggests they get some help and says, how about a book? Homer gets very excited about that until Marge points out they're going to get a tasteful book.
See, this is one of the weird things for me is like Homer loves sex.
Mm.
So it just like the setup doesn't make sense when you've watched all of Simpsons. You're just like, nah, Homer loves sex. Homer's always up for sex.
But
Why
also,
would he
within this
suddenly have
specific, the context of this specific evening, Homer was up for sex like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
A lot can happen. A lot can happen in 10 minutes.
And then he wasn't up for it because he was
Because
eating.
he fell asleep.
And then just the mere mention of an erotic book was enough to get the fires burning again.
Look, you don't know what happened in that 10 minutes. Homer could have
don't
had
know
an
what happened in that
Homer
10
could have had an
minutes.
enchilada. He could have watched the last 10 minutes of the Doobie movie. He may have had a
That's fair.
sneaky wank.
A
All of this-
sneaky wank.
I believe the enchilada one. That one rings true.
Yeah, the side. What are those? What are you side table enchilada? He keeps in that little drawer where the Bible's supposed to go. He keeps an enchilada just in case.
It's been there 2 months, but it's good enough.
It's like the sandwich.
Yeah.
Homer agrees to get the tasteful book, and as they turn off the light, we see the bat fall to the floor. Then Bart falls past on the window.
Yeah, that was funny. That was good.
But then we just hear Bart get up and ring the doorbell. So he will.
Yeah.
Ding dong got me like ding dong.
Let me in. Let me in.
The family go to the bookstore, which is books, and additional books.
What did the sign say? I didn't catch it in time. I didn't understand the reference. Because
Where
it
the
says
daily
like, today's
special is
special.
Mitch for $1.99 a pound. I'll be
All
honest, I
right,
don't
so I'm
get it.
guessing just kind of like
I'm guessing it's an
a
author.
shit author kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know that one. Mitch, no, where's Mitch?
I love hearing John's keyboard go.
James Albert Michener was an American writer. He wrote more than 40 books, most of which were long fictional family sagas covering the lives of many generations.
I like how even the person writing the Wikipedia article couldn't care enough to find out how many books he wrote.
I'm sure somebody somewhere has a
wasted
handle on
effort.
that. Also, like more than 40 books, and like there are more prolific authors than that out there. 40 books is plenty of books. That's a good career, but like there are definitely more prolific.
That's a lot of
authors
books,
than that
yeah.
out there.
And, like, no one's gonna argue.
But
that 40
I
books is
guess
a lot.
if they're all like really long books and that's his thing, like it's kind of funny that like they would sell his books by weight.
They're all actually just in the same series. That's why people don't read it. It's because you have to buy book one.
Homer and Marge are in the marital relations section and are looking through some book titles, which include Weight and Loss Through Laborious Sex.
I
Vaudeville
saw the
Repair.
I don't want to be seen in this section joke coming a mile away. I thought that was going to be the crux of the episode, to be honest, was them. Yeah. But then I kind of realized, oh wait, they already did that episode.
Which one is that?
Where Homer becomes a teacher.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, and starts telling everyone their problems.
So we've got some other book titles, which include How to Seduce Your Lousy Lazy Husband and Kosher Erotic and Cakes. Homer picks up a copy of the Kama Sutra and points out to Marge that the guy in it looks like a poo.
Right, so is that okay?
Probably not.
We've talked about, we talked about the whole Apu thing in the Apu episode, and we kind of landed on ultimately Apu is harmless, but in the grand scheme of things, we had that kind of like it's a very mixed bag thing.
I mean,
but this is very close to the knuckle.
it's not great, but almost, I don't know. I feel like there's a reading of that where you can say it's more just Homer's lack
Ignorance,
of
being
rather.
yeah, it's
ignorance,
Homer's yeah, like
It's not Homer being intentionally racist.
like it is
Yeah.
it is a Hindi text, right? And
Yeah,
Apu
yeah,
is
it's
Hindu,
Hindi,
so
yeah.
this is like Homer just being like, hey, there's a familiar thing that I don't know anything about.
It's actually one of the things I've been thinking about a lot recently is the difference between a character's racism. I know we've said that Homer's not being racist here, but a character's racism and the writer's racism. Because, like, we've talked about prolific authors. I'm reading Stephen King right now, and a lot of the characters and thus the narration in those sections is quite racist. But Stephen King, as far as I'm aware, Stephen King isn't racist. He is just very accurately encapsulating certain characters that are racist, and then when he's writing characters that aren't racist, none of that stuff exists.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Whereas
yeah,
like you go to like Lovecraft, for example, and there's just an entire
contrast.
paragraph comparing a black man to a gorilla, and you're like,
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with the character. That is just you being racist.
Yeah, I mean, as ever, if you want to know how racist Lovecraft was, look at what he called his cat.
Yep.
Yep, it's all about context, folks.
But yeah, like it's not especially not racist to write a racist character, you know.
No.
but I
But
think
yeah,
this
anyway,
is,
with the
yeah, it's
sorry, no,
Homer's
go for it.
ignorance here. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just Homer being kind of Homer.
Mm.
Marge doesn't want anyone to see them looking at the books, at which point Bart and Lisa walk up and ask what they're looking at. Marge says that she's reading up on artillery because she reads
Tanks
the
of the
tanks
Third
of the
Reich.
Third Reich.
We know someone we know someone who for a fact would love that book, not because he loves Nazis, but just because he loves military shit. And that is our Ugandan correspondent and fighter jet expert.
In fact, I would find that interesting.
I'd find it pretty interesting, yeah.
But Homer is pursuing his interest in Maplethorpe, which I'm guessing is male anatomy. Because
I
Homer
had
is
to
horrified.
look this up. Mapplethorpe, Robert Mapplethorpe, I think was the name. Was I can't remember how. I don't remember much details about the guy, but his work certainly was a lot of like very controversial and often nude/erotic photography. So this is one of his photo books that Homer's inadvertently picked up.
He is dead. Sorry, just since that was what you were.
Just to clarify,
98,
yeah.
He died at 42.
Oh right, yes, no, I do
young.
remember reading that detail. Yeah, he died of AIDS actually. I think. Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah,
Because he was in the gay scene, so that's unfortunately the fate of a lot of gay men in the 80s. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What a shame. Yeah, but the joke is lol gay, basically.
Yeah, basically that's what we're going for.
But again, actually, bringing up the wider discussion of it, is it lol? Is the joke lol gay, or is it lol Homer's uncomfortable?
The thing is, I don't think Mapplethorpe necessarily was doing explicitly only gay stuff. It was just a lot of controversial and nude stuff. I think there were women in there as well. Like his photography was just like, very raunchy, very not something you would be reading in public, say in the library.
In front of your children.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't necessarily think the joke here is necessarily gay. It's just this is not a book Homer should be stood reading in the middle of a library.
That's fair.
So we then see them go to the books on tape section, and Marge finds the Mr. and Mrs. Erotic American tape, which apparently is narrated by Paul Harvey, who is a pleasant version of Grampa.
Oh yeah, she said that. What the fuck? What a weird thing to say.
Oh right, yeah. Okay.
It's like, I'm buying a book that is narrated by someone, and this book is supposed to help us with our sex life. Oh, doesn't this guy sound like your dad?
I mean, also
A pleasant version.
Interesting contrast with the fact that Homer's dad does, in fact, help them with their sex life later on in the story. So.
This is true, yeah.
Well, the kids come up with their books, and Lisa's got the new Al Gore book, which is Sane Planning and a Sensible Tomorrow.
Seems right for Al Gore.
Yeah.
And Lisa Phillips, it's as exciting as his other book, which is Rational Thinking, Reasonable Future. And Bart is getting his UFO book, and Bart says, there's a huge government conspiracy to convert him. Lisa dismisses it as paranoid fantasy. We then see the books go through the scanner, and we see that one book seems to get a signal going through to overhead wires and satellite dishes all the way to the Pentagon.
Yeah. Also, Bart brandishing that book was the moment where we went, oh, that wasn't just an intro gag, was it? That's the B plot now.
B-plot,
Yeah.
So we see the government official run to the Pentagon office and reveals to the vice president, who is of course Al Gore, a copy of his book is sold.
I love that because it's such a great subversion.
Yeah,
You're
'cause
like,
you think it's the
oh, okay. So it is a government. Nope. Al Gore just likes to be told when someone buys his book.
Well, of course, because Al Gore calls for a celebration, which he just puts Cool and the Gang on, and it's just
so yeah. It's like celebrate good times. I will.
he does not move or change facial expression while his song is playing.
It's
It's
so
amazing. So we then see that Marge and Homer are now listening to the Paul Harvey cassette.
Good. Holding hands on the bed.
Yep, and Paul Harvey is telling us that every good American at heart is an erotic American.
This is
then,
kind of accurate, I suppose.
And he gives out the sex advice of Dwight and Mammy Eisenhower, which is, there'll be a pleasure with a bath together. Of course, this leads to Homer and Marge trying to get into the bath, of which they don't fit.
Their bath is not suited for two people.
As I'm sure many people know, that bath scenes in movies are a lie. Because most baths do not fit two people, and they're not comfortable, they're not sexy. It's rare that it works.
I barely fit into my bath. Someone else isn't getting into it.
Would strongly advise, if this is a thing you wish to do, make sure you buy a bath that is big enough for two people.
Yep.
Well, use a hot tub or just don't.
Or just get a walk-in shower.
Yeah, walk-in shower. Easy.
What are they called? Rain rooms. Rain rooms are fucking sick.
Wet rooms.
Wet room, thank you.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay.
Unfortunately, Homer does not have a wet room and has a faucet jammed into his spine. And Marge and Homer realise they're both stuck. Homer gets himself loose, but dislodges the faucet, which sprays water into Marge's face, which Marge inadvertently knocks out the candle. We just see them in the dark with their eyes and the kids.
The old eyes in the dark gag. Love it.
We then see Homer and Marge driving away, and Paul Harvey offers the advice that a romantic vacation can provide titillation, and it recommends America's finest AAA approved motor lodges.
Yeah,
So, Homer...
it's like, go on vacation to a motel.
A sexy motel. It's basically a love hotel they go to, let's be real. So, yeah.
So, they go to the Aphrodite Inn, and this has many themed sex rooms, and
it's my favorite guy. Should have made a reservation. We only have one room left.
Oh, and Marge looking through, and the Arabian Nights room looked nice, and the Pharaoh's chamber had a vibrating sarcophagus. I imagine that would have been great. But as Matt has said, unfortunately, Fred and Ethel should have made a reservation because there's only one room left.
What is he referencing with Fred and Ethel?
They put themselves under pseudonyms so that no one knew it was them.
Oh, okay, right, okay.
Well, they're interrupted by Mayor Quimby in his loincloth saying that there's a toilet block in the caveman room.
Bit of an oxymoron there, really, isn't it?
We then see Homer and Marge walking past the Savory room and the Camelot room, and they end up in the utility room. We then see that it's not very erotic according to Marge, because it is just a utility room, and Homer tries to make it a romantic fantasy by saying he's the janitor and Marge is the janitor's wife that has to live with him in the utility room.
It's like Homer started bold as brass, ready to be like, I'm the janitor and you're the janitor's wife. You know? Trying to come up with his own little bodice ripper and just failing.
Absolutely trying to make this plot up as he goes along. Oh yeah, the janitor's wife would have to live with the janitor in the utility room.
Homer should not be a writer.
So they just both lie down on separate beds while the manager comes in to take away the
fucking
vacuum.
army cots as well. Don't mind me, folks. Just get in the wet dry vac. Mayor Quimby fucked up that toilet, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's a wet dry vac.
Oh, I didn't even think about how that was connected to the toilet. Oh god.
So Homer and Marge are driving back, and both of them look less than impressed as Paul Harvey saying that they should now be flinging woo like nobody's business.
I love how pissed off they both look.
And Mr. and Mrs. Erotic American, he bids good day. This prompts Homer to throw the tape out of the car, then run it over repeatedly.
Oh, they go over it several times. He backs up and drives over it like 3 or 4 times.
Honestly, like, just again giving away my thoughts on this episode a little, I think this plotline could have been the whole episode of just Homer and Marge doing all kinds of like stereotypical romantic things to revitalize their sex life, and then it just ends with them realizing, yo, we could just bang. We don't need to do all this crazy shit.
Well, without spoiling too much for you, that is actually an episode of The Simpsons seasons down the line. that
Oh,
we will
shit!
cover at some point.
I think I know the one you're talking about, but yeah, no, this is The Simpsons, so we have spent 6 minutes doing the fake out at the start before the main plot, so let's swerve to the right and go into the main plot now.
Yeah.
Marge and Homer return home and greeted by Abe, who reveals that while they were away, he broke 2 lamps and lost all their mail. Then asks,
also, at this point, I stand up and cheer because Abe's here, and we know it's an Abe episode now.
Yay, Abe.
So, Abe asks what's wrong with Marge, and Homer says, "You wouldn't understand." So Abe starts asking flu, protein deficiency. Homer just says no to all this, and does anyone want to have a crack at what he says next?
Oh, I don't fucking know.
Pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
Well, it's not that either.
Which is, for context, it is an affliction, an ailment, a fictional affliction invented by like some puzzling society, presumably to create the longest word or something stupid. It's the idea that it's like, oh, it's the damage done to your lungs by inhaling microscopic particles from volcanic rock. But that's also not a thing that anybody gets because nobody's inhaling particles of volcanic rock. So
yeah, you just tend to die straight away, don't you?
Well, I mean, nobody's just going out and just like drilling volcanic rock and then with like inhaling
Maybe
the
you
particles. But like, you know, if you inhale a lot of dust, you can get pneumoconiosis, but not ultramicroscopic volcanoconiosis.
Well, this podcast teaches the kids everything.
You are
doesn't it?
learning things today.
Learning.
Abe finally does guess it, the unsatisfying sex life, and Homer says, "Stop saying that word." And Grandpa goes, "What? Sex?"
Why don't you want your old man to talk about sex?
What?
I had sex.
This leads to Homer shuddering. Homer takes Grandpa home, and Grandpa says, Homer says, I've done my duty. See you next time we need your signature."
Oh, that's so bleak, man.
Abe's not impressed and says, "You don't want to spend any time with me, but I'm going to help you with your loving. Because I've got the remedy that's going to put those zousers back in your trousers," which is a great expression.
Want that on some MeUndies.
Yeah. Grandpa starts mixing stuff in his cabinet and says that his great grandpappy stumbled upon this recipe when he was trying to invent a cheap substitute for holy water.
I do not think there is a cheaper alternative to holy water than holy water. Holy water is literally free.
Well, you just need to hire a priest to bless it.
You don't have to hire them. You can just go into a church and ask them to bless it. Then it's holy water. It's not that hard. Again, I know it's for the bit, but Abe, what the fuck?
Well, Grandpa comes out and Homer has left the room already. So
Yeah,
Grandpa
he's
to go to the window
already
and-
in the car.
Grandpa then shouts out the window, "Think of me when you're having the best sex of your life." Which,
Just for context on the background gags of what's in Grandpa's cabinet that ends up getting mixed into this, there's a lot of things that are very unreadable. Honestly, like trying to decipher them now look like it was AI generated because I'm like, I cannot read
Yeah, this
that
ain't
in
no
any way, shape, or
glum
form.
toothpaste.
But there is in there a box of asbestos pills and a bottle of dewormer, which also weirdly rings after COVID and the fucking horse dewormer debacle.
Oh, not glyphosate.
oh, yeah.
Well, shit, what's it called? I keep wanting to say glyphosate now, but that's the thing that was in Plant Killer. But yeah,
No, I can't remember what the fuck it was, but like all the
No.
right-wing dipshits were like insisting they could cure themselves with horse dewormer for a while.
Yeah, and it actually didn't just cause people that overdosed on it to die. It caused people that needed it to die because it is actually really good at killing a specific parasite. So
Yeah.
if you're an anti-vaxxer, please go fucking drown.
Homer drinks the whole bottle and what do you know? It does the trick. He drives home like a maniac, unplugs the TV, gives the kids $50 and says, "Go to the movies, take a cab to your aunt's house and don't come back." He then sweeps Marge up romantically and Marge wonders what's going on and Homer says, "I'll explain to you afterwards."
I
go
thought
into
you
the
said I'll
bedroom.
complain to you afterwards. I was very
I'll
confused by
explain.
that.
So They go into the bedroom and some very subtle messaging of what might
I
be
love
happening
this.
begins.
This was great. This is a good gag.
Is this the, because I know this gag is used in like Austin Powers, I think, and a couple
Is
other
it?
like it's used in a couple other like comedy
Something.
movies and stuff. So
I mean, it's an old sort of like metaphor that's been used in cinema for fucking ages, like using a train going through a tunnel as like nudge nudge wink wink for
Yeah.
sex.
What's that one?
I'm
So-
curious where the first instance of it came from. You know, that's what I'm curious about.
I think there is a documented first instance, but like I'm not looking that up right this
The
second.
first instance of sexual innuendo.
The train
Yeah,
goes
there's-
into the tunnel.
There's also
rocket
the
takes off.
sausage making machine, which was quite funny
Yeah.
as well.
It just
It's so unpleasant. I don't
so-
know why.
Oh, we're gonna have sex. Train goes through tunnel. Rocket takes off. Sausages on conveyor line.
Yep, and they're not even going into anything. They're just going straight off the line.
What does that imply about Marge? Do you think?
She likes sausage, I guess.
But apparently, all of this is because the kids are watching the stock footage festival, which I also got a chuckle at.
Yeah.
Lisa at some point asks, "What do you think Mum and Dad are doing?" Bart just goes,
I love Maggie there with the cup that's as big
yeah.
as her.
Mm.
So we go to after the deed, and Homer is shaving, and Marge goes up to him and goes, "He's Rex Harrison and Paul Anka rolled into one." And she kisses him on the cheek as his stubble immediately comes back.
I never get tired of it. I never get tired of seeing Homer's stubble just back into existence.
So Marge suggests that Homer should go into business with Grampa to sell the tonic. And Homer's response is this: "You want me to spend more time with my dad? What about my New Year's resolution?" Marge's response to this is, "You could make a lot of money." And Homer goes, "Oh yeah, where's my pants?" Marge says, "You threw them out the window in a fit of passion, saying you wouldn't need them again."
Implying that Homer only has one pair of trousers.
We then cut to next door, and Flanders is trying to get the pants out of the tree. And Marge goes, "Oh, they're awful. Just be ready with that garbage bag." We then see at the retirement castle, Grandpa and Homer are mixing the tonic in his bath.
Homer has acquired some pants from somewhere.
So Homer is happy because after years of get rich quick schemes, he's going to get rich with this scheme quick.
And quick.
Then see them in the mall, and Homer is trying his selling technique, which is going up to a man and saying, "You look like you need help satisfying your wife." And surprisingly gets punched.
Punch.
And Grandpa decides he's going to have a go at it, and
Homer thinks they've got a moral objection to the sex drug.
which is great. But Grandpa has a go at it, and if you heard Matt's spiel at the start, that's exactly what Abe
Would
says.
you like me to read it again for the audience's sake? So I'll read it slowly.
Sure.
No, I want them to go back.
Step right up, folks, and witness the magnificent medicinal miracle of Simpson & Sons' patented revitalizing tonic. Put some ardor in your larder with our energizing, moisturizing, tantalizing, romanticizing, surprising, herprising, revitalizing tonic.
Woo!
Very good.
This obviously excites the crowd as Grandpa sells loads of them.
This feels a very similar to the monorail. It feels very similar to You've Got Trouble, which is what the
Yeah.
monorail song was referencing. It gives me that same vibe.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just a smooth talking snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
is the energy of most
Abe
of the episode,
dipping into
really,
a
isn't it?
musical number for this would have improved this episode
Oh,
immensely.
yeah.
Most things in life would be
Most
improved
things
with
are
a
improved
musical
by a
number.
musical number. I agree. No, I apologize for stating such an obvious truism.
We see that Professor Frink has bought a bottle, and he doubts that the elixir can boast so many fantastic properties. He then drinks some and turns into like James Dean.
He is
And,
the only person to be physically altered by this as well. Keep that in
Yeah.
mind.
So on Wikipedia, it reckoned this was a reference to the Nutty Professor. To which
Oh,
I went,
yeah,
wait,
absolutely.
what?
Yeah.
No?
Because you're thinking of the Eddie Murphy one, and not the
Because
Jerry
I
Lewis.
didn't know the Eddie Murphy version was a remake of an older one. But yeah,
Yeah,
the original one was
Jerry
Jerry
Lewis
Lewis.
did one in like
Yeah.
the 60s, and this was
Yeah.
ripping on again a 30-year-old movie at this point. But yeah,
Yeah, but they offer have a wild wingding in the cyclotron.
Cyclotron.
Not quite sure what that is. We then see that Millhouse's dad has bought one, and they're going to push the twin beds together tonight, and he's bought Millhouse a pup tent, and Millhouse goes, I can sleep outside. He goes, yep, every single night. And
I
we see the
like
Van
that this
Houtens.
implies as well that the Millhouses, I don't know what they're called,
Van Houten's,
the Millhouses,
the Millhouses,
the
Sure.
Millhouses, the Milvernbronts were having marital struggles basically since their inception.
I mean, this, obviously does get explored in later episodes for sure, but
Well, they
no
later
kidding. It really
divorced.
does explain, like, the Van Houtens. They're like, this
Yeah.
was a thing since they began, I guess, yeah.
Because
we
I
see
think
them in
this is like their, what, fourth physical appearance or something? Like, they don't appear that often.
I think Kirk showed up a few times. I don't think Luann's been seen much at all yet.
Yeah,
This is
'cause
probably
Kirk was
like
in
the
it-
fourth Luann.
Kirk was in it
yeah.
the other episode, wasn't he? With he went during the Planet of the Apes reference. He's the one that
Oh, yeah,
catches
yeah,
Milhouse
yeah.
in the net.
Mm.
Yeah, but even then, they're very rarely characters. You know, they're just plot device. Not even plot devices. They're just background. So this is
The background there for the gags.
It's interesting that from so early on they were. But do you know, actually, I think that they probably thought of Milhouse as a child of divorce before they even created his parents. Because if you think about how Milhouse acts, do you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing specific, but if like the first time you showed me Milhouse and then said his parents are divorced, I'd be like, that checks out.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Well, they're not divorced yet as they're banging in the background while Milhouse's tent is facing the other way.
Yeah, and he's just
having the
sitting there
time.
having a great time.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's having fun.
camping in the garden every night.
But then go to Dr. Hibbert, and Dr. Hibbert says he's discovered that the rejuvenating effect is actually a mild form of poisoning due to the unsanitary conditions of Grandpa's bathtub. But he still drinks it and does his trademark chuckle.
The thing is now is, like, we've talked about it before, the whole, like, separating art from artist or references and stuff like that. The fact that we now know who Dr. Hibbert is meant to be a reference to, his general presence makes me uncomfortable. Does anyone else get that? Because, like, now that I know it's Bill Cosby, I'm just like, I just kind of hate you by proxy. It's weird, especially when he's doing anything sexual. I'm just like, nah, I'm uncomfortable now.
I mean, other than those early references where they show him, like, around the family table and stuff, and it's kind of very much portrayed a bit Cosby. I don't really feel like his character most of the time is very Bill Cosby, so I don't really think of him the same way.
It's not like he's doing a direct Bill Cosby impression.
No,
he's
of course
not
he's
going,
not,
with the
but-
jello and the yellow.
But the
or
fact
whatever
that
Bill Cosby
he
does.
is a reference, you know, the fact that he was, like, sort of built around being a reference to Bill Cosby is enough for me to be like, to get the ick, as the kids would say.
Yeah, I guess I don't think about that much. And also, it's kind of having grown up watching The Simpsons and seen Dr. Hibbert and not known that it was a Bill Cosby reference or anything about Bill Cosby anyway. It's just like, no, it's just Dr. Hibbert.
No, I totally get it.
Wait till Bill Cosby actually appears on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
That's a coming.
Oh, there are some interesting characters coming over the years, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to just constantly laugh at Elon Musk because he paid to be on it. He paid. What a pathetic loser. Carry on.
Get your applications in now for being a guest on the Elon Musk episode.
Man,
But,
fucking
yep. But we see that the town is now abandoned as the kids wander around, and Milhouse wonders where all the parents are. Nelson says that with no parents, he runs the city. There's an awkward pause, and he just goes, carry on.
Yeah, I feel like they couldn't think of a gag, and then they thought, do you know what? Let's just have him walk away. Which was funny. I'm not saying it wasn't funny. I just think, they just kind of bailed on the gag a bit.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can think of they were kind of going for is, like, he suddenly had to confront the idea that he had the power of being, like, functionally mayor of the city, and it was like, oh, wait, hang on, I have to do things, and he just, like, got cold feet about bullying because he now has to be mayor or whatever.
It's fun when you are going against the system, but when you are the system, it's less fun.
The Bart gets his UFO book out and feels that individuals behaving in secretive fashion are often associated with UFO phenomena or
I just
telephone
realised,
explosions.
doesn't this whole episode imply that everyone in The Simpsons or in Springfield is in a relationship of some kind?
Oh, yeah.
That every adult is in a sexual relationship of some kind. Doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but everyone has someone to bang. Other than Mo. Mo's probably just in Mo's tavern wondering where everyone is.
Yeah, Mo is busy running his tavern.
Mo and Barney just hanging out, being like, where is everyone?
What about Paddy and Selma? Where are Paddy and Selma in all this?
Drinking the tonic.
Well, Selma's out fucking her secret girlfriend, and Patty is probably just jilling herself crazy to Matlock.
I'm trying to think who else is Barney seeing anyone? Barney's probably seeing someone.
That's why I said home. Mo and Barney are just in the bar, just be like, where the fuck is everyone?
Lenny's marriage was on the rocks, so who knows?
This almost saved it, but not quite.
Well, maybe he had some of the tonic.
Yeah,
maybe the tonic saved him. Yeah, for a couple of weeks.
So Bart gets his paranormal phenomena theory, and Mar says, if it's in a book, it's got to be true.
Yep.
And then Bart shows the picture of the author and says he's the head of the spaceology department
at the Correspondence College of Tampa.
I love that. That was a good bit. That's a very clever bit. Especially if you're like me and you like do legit listen to like UFO podcasts and stuff. It's very funny when you realize the absolute bullshit titles they come up with to make themselves sound important.
Right.
Because sorry, just random side note. I used to watch a TV show that had like an ex FBI agent on it as like one of the hosts, and you're like, oh wow, is he really ex FBI? And he is, but he was fired for being mental and doing coke.
Incredible.
Incredible. It was great.
Who could have seen
so
that
funny.
coming?
He like published a manifesto, and the FBI was like, "You can't fucking what? Are you that stupid?" It's so funny.
Ralph walks up and says, "Will you cook my dinner? Because my parents aren't around and I can't use the stove."
Yeah, he's been randomly walking around in the background of the scene. At one point, he was just like staring at a wall.
It's an elaborate
I wrote a note. It was like, "What the fuck is Ralph doing in this scene?" And then finally, he actually like makes his presence known.
I'm surprised they didn't take it as an opportunity to have Ralph say something, like, because they haven't had the I saw them making a baby and I saw the baby and it winked at me bit, have they? That's not happened yet, has it?
No, I don't think we've got it.
No,
So.
But I'm surprised they haven't used it as an opportunity to make one of those kind of jokes with Ralph, because Ralph seems like the perfect character to do it with. So, but again, the ultimate joke was kind of funny, but I don't know.
Meanwhile, Homer and Abe are preparing for their road trip, and Grandpa starts listing the towns they're going to, which include Frigid Falls, Mount Seldom, and Lake Placid.
Lake Placid is so good.
So Homer's annoyed that he's going to be in the car all weekend with that wheezy windbag, and we see that Abe is telling Homer what's wrong with Bart.
I'm cheering because that's immediately preluding like a massive Abe monologue.
Yeah, which is he's just told Homer what's wrong with Bart's generation, and now it's time for Homer's generation.
Now for your generation.
Do you know how far they had to go to get to Lake Placid? I mean, I know it's called Lake Flaccid, but
it wasn't Lake Placid. Where is Lake Placid?
Lake Placid's in New York. I wasn't sure if it was just a name of a film series, but
it's a long way from Peru.
It's a
Yeah, it's a hell of a trek.
They saw all sorts on that journey.
So we see them at the next stop, and Abe says, for $1 you can take home a bottle of liquid Lothario, or distilled Don Juan, or catically carbonated Casanova.
Liquid Lothario is a great rap album.
I don't think they carbonated that drink. I don't get the impression that was a carbonated beverage.
No, I didn't either. So one man complains because he's had bad luck with aphrodisiacs, and Abe says, don't worry, he's going to show them a incontrovertible demonstration, and he asks for a volunteer, which of course he picks out Homer, and they both pretend, well, we've never seen each other. That is correct, I've never seen you. Then one guy goes, well, why is his face on the bottle? So we get to zoom in on the bottle, and they're both going, So next scene is them being chased to hillbilly.
The fucking chase music is so funny.
It's actually from Thelma and Louise, I think, the music from this.
I think it is.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn.
So Abe tells Homer he's the worst shill he's ever seen, and he's a disgrace to the medicine business. Homer says
no, Bonnie and Clyde. Not
Bonnie and
Thelma
Clyde,
and Louise, it's Bonnie and Clyde.
I would be surprised if that music was in Thelma and Louise.
It was one of the duos.
Homer gets annoyed. Homer gets annoyed that they didn't start chasing us until he put on the getaway music, and he turns it off, and everyone just leaves.
Yeah, everyone's just like, nah, it's not fun anymore.
So we come back to Bart in his treehouse, and he's looking for a telescope as several men and women are getting it on.
Let's get it on.
Hey.
Okay.
What the
You guys
fuck
want a room?
was
Do
that?
you want me to finish this on my own while you guys,
I haven't bought
drink your
any.
liquid Lothario?
I haven't bought any.
Yeah.
All I've
Without
got
the
is
tonic, there's no
McEwen's
point.
champion.
I'm just going to have to sit here in Lake Placid.
Pour some ivermectin into your McEwen's.
Ivermectin, that's it.
Yeah, I just remembered what it was.
They remembered it eventually. Ivermectin.
The Bart comes to the conclusion that it's clear that the adults are paving the way for the invasion of the Saucer people. Milhouse tells him he's a fool because it's a government conspiracy, and then says, have they gotten to you too?
Or have they gotten to you too?
They start having a wrestling match to really dramatic music before Lisa cuts in and goes, "It's have you not heard of Occam's razor? The simplest explanation is obvious is probably the correct one." Bart goes, "Well, what's the simple explanation?" He goes, Lisa sarcastically goes, "Oh, maybe they're all reverse vampires and they have to get home before dark." At which point the kids panic.
They all buy this immediately, yes.
So we see Homer and Abe still on their road trip, and Abe notices the Amos Pearson's moose farm and tells Homer to make a right. And we then see that the Simpsons used to live in a barn, and this is where Homer grew up. Homer goes, "Let's go find the hot dog tree I planted."
Which, I mean, like, they've already established that Homer was born in the city and grew up in the city. So this is just them being like, nah, fuck it, he grew up on a farm.
Yep, so Abe reveals that they lived here until the bank foreclosed them. And because the milk went sour in the cows, and Abe goes, "Something must have spooked them." And we get the flashback.
Black and white flashback.
Yeah. So the black and white flashback of Homer in the barn, scaring the cows and just chasing them around.
What's poor cow?
So Abe comes into the hallway and goes, "Oh, this place could talk," as he pulls the light cord and the ceiling collapses and several things fall onto Abe, including a chair, a toaster, and a tricycle.
Then the most obvious gag, but still good, and Homer laughs
Homer laughs at
maniacally
him.
until the ceiling falls on him as well.
Fucking
Yeah, so Homer
bat.
laughs maniacally, and then the bat falls on him. So they both walk into the next room bruised, and Abe then points out the Radiation King TV and says Homer would park
I love
himself.
that it's called the Radiation King. That's so funny. That's
And he
so
tells Homer
good.
that he'd park himself right there and watch it for hours, and we can see the
I
evidence of
love
that
the
because Homer's,
shadow, yeah.
Homer's shadow is imprinted onto the wall. Still.
He's sat in front of the TV so and the radiation has burned his shadow into the wall. They don't make him like they used to.
If you think about it, that's a pretty dark joke, actually, isn't it? Because like there was actual those kind of shadows in Hiroshima, and that's I know they're not trying to make a direct gag of that, but it's only 3 degrees from it. You know what I mean? That's a pretty dark joke.
Yeah. Oh, I hadn't made that connection. I just
Yeah.
thought it was like a fun old timey name for a TV.
No. I meant
okay.
specifically the shadow as well, combined.
Yeah, I know,
with
but like the
radiation.
implication that the Radiation King has like blasted the room
Yes.
with
Yeah,
radiation
yeah,
and
yeah.
left a shadow. Yeah.
It's dark.
So we get a black and white flashback of Homer watching President Kennedy, and this prompts Homer to go do his own President Kennedy impersonation.
I did like the Kennedy impression, though. I'd like to respond to that with a glib remark. That was funny. That was good.
So Homer's mother says that maybe Homer could be president, and Homer looks at Abe hopefully, and Abe tells him that this is the greatest country in the world, and we've got a whole system to prevent people like you from becoming president.
Lol.
Which,
fucking
like,
lol.
Yeah, the
Lol,
irony
but
on that.
also, wow, yeah, no, he's kind of on the money on that one, yeah.
It's a quit your daydreaming melonhead, and we come back to the president, and Abe says the exact same thing. And Homer asks him why he didn't give him more encouragement, because Homer could have been something else. Like, he could have been a travel agent to a scientist, or the inventor of a hilarious refrigerator alarm. And Abe's response to this is, "You can't complain, you look..."
Just want to point out, as always, Homer makes $88,000 a year. Carry
And
on.
spends it all on stupid crap.
Yeah. Abe says that Homer put him in a home, and he gets the same shower safety seat every Christmas.
Shower safety seat. That's so. Oh man, he is right though. That Abe, Abe has every right now to be mad at Homer. He was a dick, but now it's fair.
The argument continues in the car, and Abe says Homer never said anything nice to him, and Abe says that's because you're a screw-up, and Homer then tells him you're a screw-up, which prompts Abe to start choking him like Homer does with Bart.
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
And then Homer says they're going home because he's had enough of Abe and the stupid tonic, and Abe says, if I hadn't taken that stupid tonic 38 years ago, you wouldn't have been born. You were an accident. Homer gasps and stops the car and then tells Abe to get out, and Abe tries to apologize, and Homer tells him get out, and Abe does get out of the car and says, I hope you're finding your heart not to drive away, and Homer of course drives away.
Did I ever tell you guys the story of when I was told I was an accident and how funny it is? I think I've told this story before, but I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Basically,
Yeah,
I was like
you told
I was young. I was like teenager, and I was talking about, my birth with my dad, and he mentioned that we didn't actually plan to have you. Like we wanted a second kid, and then we decided no, we can't afford it, and then 9 months later you popped out, and I found it fucking funny. I think that's hilarious because that very much sounds like me. And then I came home and told my mum the story, because I just thought it was funny, you know. I was like, oh, now we're all in on the joke, and I didn't realize that. Like my dad told me like a couple months ago that Mum yelled at him for telling
God.
for telling me that story, because she was like, you can't tell him he's an accident, and I was like, no, I thought it was fucking funny, you know. So it's just I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, I mean, my mum's told me that both me and my brother were both accidents. And I'm like,
Nice.
it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's like,
No.
yeah, it's okay, yeah, no, that happens.
I
Yeah,
mean-
that's the thing that happens in life.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they have you and they raise you and they don't like throw you into the forest.
Yeah,
And,
exactly. It's all about
I
how you
think it's
raise
all
them,
fine.
not about,
Having
like,
accidentally having a child without planning it is not like does not preclude like loving a child, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Abe is now stranded in the middle of nowhere and goes, well, I'll be fine as long as I can remember my army training. But
Flash
then
to
transition to
nighttime.
nighttime and Abe's just like, damn it.
Darn.
As the wolf howls in the background.
Yep, wolves always after Abe.
They're after Abe, yeah.
So we end.
Cold and there are
We-
wolves after him.
Yeah, we cut to the next scene and Abe is at Homer's door with a bunch of flowers with the I'm sorry sash. Homer slams the door in his face and then we just see Abe put the flowers
Pushes
through
it
the
through the
door.
letterbox.
My favorite bit was when he put his hand through and waved and said hello.
So Marge asks Homer if he's going to ignore Grandpa for the rest of his life and Homer says, no, just for the rest of his life. And Homer complains about him saying he was an accident. Marge points out, you didn't want to have Bart. And Homer says, you're not supposed to tell the child. And Marge goes, you tell him all the time. You told him this morning.
Yeah, but when I do it, it's cute.
We cut to the kids in the treehouse and Bart says, have we in agreement what's happening? And Milhouse has put together the plan that the Rand Corporation, in conjunction with the Saucer people, under the supervision of the reversed vampires, are forcing the parents to go to bed early in a fiendish plot to eliminate the meal of deal. At which point, Milhouse goes very sinister with his, we're looking through the glass here, people.
We're through the looking glass, people.
And
That's
that's,
the
the end of your B
end of the
plot.
B
They
plot there.
Do
There
not
is-
go any further with this.
No.
Yeah, that's it. We cut to the kids in the next scene, and Homer says, your daddy and his daddy were involved in a very sticky, nutty, chewy, chocolatey, and tells Bart to put away his candy bar. And then says, he's realised something important. A father should make his kids feel wanted. And Homer then says he's going to spend a lot more time with them and give them the attention they deserve.
Fucking
Gets up and
Shaw
starts
calls
hugging.
them.
Yeah, but he's not a very gentle hug. So we cut to Grandpa, who's still going on with the tonic business, and so then brings out his own flesh and blood, which is Barney. And Barney tells us that he used to be a fat, disgusting slob as he burps. And one of the customers says, that medicine seems to be giving him gas. And Grandpa goes, the belching is because of his unrelated alcohol problem. At which point Barney collapses. And as Barney's on the floor, Abe just walks away and goes, it's not the same without Homer, mostly because he knew how to drive a car.
Yeah, walking on the dirt road. How did Barney get there then?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, Homer is outside trying to become a good father as he's eating potato chips while Maggie is strapped to his chest.
And she's got a
Got a
little
little
sticker
bumper
on that says,
sticker,
I
yeah.
love my kids.
Yeah.
So Homer tells Bart that he's going to teach him how to ride a bike, which very clearly is Lisa's bike. Homer gets on the bike to try to ride it and completely bends it out.
Yeah, again, one of the most obvious gags.
So Bart has to point out to him that he already can ride a bike, he already owns a bike, and that's a girl's bike. And Homer goes, nope, you're not a girl, you're a boy. And
A good boy.
you're going to be president. So we put Bart on the bike and we hear Lisa calling Dad off screen. He goes, I think Lisa wants another push on the tire swing. No, Lisa wants to get off the tire swing because it's absolutely filthy and the steel is poking into her.
And it's
But
like
Homer
4 foot off the ground.
It's real high, yeah.
So Homer starts pushing Lisa and Lisa's absolutely terrified. And as Lisa just in the
I
background
hate the
keeps swinging.
sloshing noise. I
Oh, yeah,
hate
it
the
sloshes.
sloshing noise. That's awful.
Bart has to point out to Homer that his half-assed parenting was better than his full-assed parenting.
His half-assed, your half-assed underparenting was better than your half-assed overparenting. Homer says he's using his whole ass.
Use my whole ass.
Lisa has to point out that all his love is scary. Homer takes her down and then says, someday the kids will thank him for his scary love. But now he's got to go off and do some serious thinking. So he gets in the car, drives off, and Bart goes, I think he meant to say serious drinking. Lisa goes, well, that's what I assumed.
Dang.
Homer goes back to the old house, and Homer says, this is where it all started to go wrong. And he says how he's supposed to be a good dad when he didn't have one. He kicks the wall, and a book falls out, and he finds a photo of it's Homer greeting Santa Claus at Christmas morning, which he laments the fact that Abe wasn't there.
When he actually
Then
got to
he-
meet Santa Claus.
Yeah. Then Homer actually looks at the photo and realizes that Grandpa was actually dressed as Santa Claus.
Did
and
your dads
goes,
ever dress as Santa?
No, they did the whole milk and cookies thing, but never
Yeah,
physically
definitely
dressed up.
did the whole charade of, oh, he's visited in the night.
I think my
'cause they're like-
granddad dressed as Santa once.
Oh,
But I
right.
think it was because he was a pub landlord, so he did it for like a group of kids. It wasn't like specifically
Okay.
for me. But that's still like, sweet thing to do.
It's a
Yeah.
nice thing to do.
I mean, I think they were just trying to maintain the myth of Santa. You never get to actually meet Santa, but he's come in the night, but you'll never get to see him. Look, the cookies have gone, and somebody's left sooty fingerprints on the plates. So it's like, yeah, my dad
I
ate
am
the cookies.
Yeah,
so glad.
Yeah, Dad, why are your hands black?
I am so glad that I don't want kids, because then I don't have to have the decision of telling my kids Santa's real, because I think it's fucking stupid.
Just let them figure it out on their own.
On that cheery note, Homer calls the photo a blessing, but unfortunately he was using a match to look at it and he accidentally sets it on fire, which prompts Homer to fling the photo around as he sets multiple things in the room on fire.
Yeah, that is a very flammable
Room.
portrait, and then very flammable room.
We then do a slow transition through the house and we see that Abe is also in the house and he's lit the fireplace. And he says that the tonic is causing nothing but trouble. But then he throws the tonic into the fire, which
Yeah, that
of
tonic
course
is filled with mostly perfume. Of course it explodes.
Yeah.
Of course, it explodes and sets the room on fire, and Grandpa just kind of panics. He full sprints it across the fire, though, which...
Doesn't he, after the initial explosion, though, just say something like, dang it? And it's like, that is an underreaction, sir.
Oh, nuts, I think was the
Yeah,
line. But
it's-
yeah, basically, yeah.
What a minor inconvenience.
Oh no, I burned down our old house. Oh.
So Homer and Abe both flee the house and run into each other, and Homer declares he's the screw because he burnt down the house, and then Abe says, no, I'm the screw I burned down the house. And then Homer comes to the conclusion that, well, but we're both screw-ups. And Abe says it doesn't matter because he's realised Homer was right, that he never said anything nice about him. Homer then says,
You gonna say something nice
now?
now?
And Abe's response is, I hadn't thought that far ahead.
I didn't plan that far ahead.
So Homer looks at them both, and Grandpa goes, okay, I'm not sorry I had you, and then goes, I'm always proud that you weren't a short man. That
You
was the best
weren't
thing
a
you could come
short
up
man, yeah, that's good.
So they hug as the house collapses up.
Let's roll on the grass.
So
Whilst they're on
both-
fire.
Yep, so they're both on fire, and the episode ends with them just rolling on the grass trying to put themselves up.
Oh dear.
Well, that's your episode, folks.
Your
Oh, there's
episode.
an episode.
That's
What
probably
do you
a new record for fewest notes for me.
Mm,
I had
really?
5 notes.
I think I probably had fewer than that before, but that's not a lot of notes. I had a few notes on that, but yeah. Yeah, that was a good episode. I enjoyed it. Sounds like maybe you didn't, Matt.
I
don't know.
didn't. I thought this was a complete nothing burger.
Oh, really?
I don't think it was bad. I just don't think it was good either. I just think it was like so incredibly mid.
No, okay.
I again, as we have said so many times on this show and on All for Arnold, I had so much more fun talking about it.
It's a very Abe and Homer episode, heavy episode.
I mean,
which both of them make good episodes for me.
I love the Abe and Homer stuff. And apart from the Al Gore bit, the B plot is pointless.
The B
Yeah.
plot was nothing. It was making up time because like the main plot isn't enough to carry it on its own. Could they have done better with the B plot? For sure. Do I care about the B plot? No. Was the A plot good? Yeah, it was. I enjoyed the A plot greatly.
I agree with you. Yeah. What's your out of Homer?
I gave it a half-assed overparenting out of Homer. It's better than nothing.
I gave it a revitalizing tonic out of Homer because it puts the wowzers in your trousers.
You stole my bit.
John, you want to tell us something about, right? You want to tell us something about
I've
yourself?
just been looking at WikiFeet on Marge's page. What do you want from me?
Fine. I'll give it a sausage coming off a conveyor belt out of Homer. It looks delicious, but it goes nowhere.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
genius.
Fair
What did
enough.
I
Yeah.
have- what did I have to say about society, folks?
Honestly, I think it's hard to say because Homer and Marge do actively try to solve their problems, but then do resort to a quick drug-based solution, pun intended.
Mm.
It really does feel like this is an episode of Simpsons with like the least to say about society. Because again, it's like we've talked about it before that Simpsons is based on old sitcoms. And old sitcoms used to have like very tired jokes of like, oh lol, you don't sexually satisfy me. And they never resolve it. That's just the joke. The joke is bad marriage. But in this, Homer and Marge actively communicate and actively try and solve their problems together.
Mhm.
So they're subverting that. But then they do also then just be like, all right, drugs. So I don't know, it's weird. And then beyond that, I guess snake oil salesman is a thing, but it's not snake oil. It literally works.
This is true. Yeah, no, it is shown to functionally do exactly what is supposed to be done. Why they need to go on tour doing the old snake oil salesman routine is unclear, because it does actually do the job.
This
it
definitely
is
costs
purporting to
more
do.
than $1 to produce as well.
Oh yeah, they're selling it so cheap.
That is the 5th note that I didn't bring up in the episode. There you go. I've brought up all my notes.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like it danced around the subject, but never got, like, as far as touching on the issue of, like, kids being born as an accident, like having kids accidentally. Like, it seemed like they could have said something, but ultimately didn't really, like, come down on anything actually about it.
This episode makes
something
no
else.
statements.
No,
Really.
I don't think it really does, honestly, no.
And you've all, any long-time listeners have heard me rant. I'm the one that always tries to really find something, and I couldn't.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, the whole sort of accidental kids was kind of like, yeah, the accidental kids is clearly the theme of the thing. But then, like, as soon as you analyze it and go, wait, but did the episode actually, like, draw any conclusions on that matter? The answer is just functionally no, it didn't.
Everything either gets resolved immediately, or it comes across as confused, like I said, with the Homer and then the sexual problems and then the drinking thing.
I mean,
there's no hard stance.
Yeah, if you want observations about the world, the B plot was Bill Oakley observing that kids tend to go through a stage in life where they become addicted to information about UFOs and paranormal phenomena. Which, like, yeah, okay, like, I absolutely
when's that supposed to stop?
I absolutely had a phase in my teens where I was really into, like, cryptozoology.
Same. I genuinely had books. I genuinely had, like, books with, like, all that kind of shit in it. Loved it. Still do. I think UFOs are fascinating. Don't think they're visited, but I think it's interesting.
I never really did the UFO thing, yeah. But, yeah, paranormal phenomena is great for, like, hooking kids into shit.
You want to go ghost hunting sometime? Seriously, I'm gonna go ghost hunting when I go to America again. So do you like, if I come to Wales, do you want to go ghost hunting?
I think I'm too skeptical for it to work on me. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh no, there's ghosts, because I just don't believe in them.
Yeah, fair enough.
I have visited the most haunted pub in England. I didn't get haunted. I had a nice pint.
Ah, good times.
That's what you think.
They had some good spirits there, but no good spirits.
Badum tish. All right, next episode.
No, let's carry on. I want more ghost puns.
Ghost
puns.
That's my only ghost pun. No. Moving on. Fear of Flying aired on December 18th, 1994.
Well, the main headlines of this day are that Daryl Strawberry pled not guilty on tax evasion charges.
What about
Daryl?
And that's how I imagine the court went. Just the prosecutor going, Daryl.
Sorry, you mentioned the court and the jury. My favorite fact, because we brought up Elon Musk, in his current suit against Sam Altman of OpenAI, it was supposed to be a trial by jury, but they could not find a jury that didn't think Elon Musk was a cunt, so they just don't have a jury.
I think I saw the same post doing the rounds. I think that was an old article, but also it is still extremely funny that everybody hates Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be pleased to learn that Boys to Men's reign of terror is over.
No.
No, don't worry about it. They'll be back.
Don't worry. Our new number one is Here Comes the Hot Stepper.
From Ready to Wear.
Sounds
big.
Sounds
I
big.
have no idea what this is.
I don't know any of these. I know those words, but that sentence makes no sense.
Stay Another Day is staying as your number one in the UK.
Stay another day.
So, our chalkboard gag begins with Ralph won't morph if you squeeze him hard enough.
Yep.
Oh,
Fair enough.
I'm not sure what specifically they're riffing on. I don't know if this is like Power Rangers or
I mean, there was like squeegee toys you could get when I was a sprog that if you squeezed them, like the eyes would bulge and the head would like change and things like that. But is that what it's referencing? I don't know.
It might have
I don't
been.
know.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think the Power Rangers one might be it because I think Power Rangers had just come out.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah, because if
You
you
didn't-
put your thumb against some of the original Power Rangers toys, if you put your thumb against the chest, they would morph.
Yeah, they're going to the helmet
Ah.
version. Wouldn't
Yeah, their heads would swap.
Oh, yeah, Power Rangers launched in 1993. Yeah,
Oh, there you
could
go.
be,
Yeah.
could be.
The couch gag is our old favourite, the circus gaggers book. I guess we had to kill a minute.
Yeah, this is when you need to pad the episode.
Oh yeah. It was like absolutely, yeah. It's like our episode. We could not, no matter what we did, make this episode run long enough. How do we shave off some time? Bring back the big intro.
Yeah, because I like as well how it then replays the last bit of the intro song to then show the credits on the TV.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you notice because it's it does that ba 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 da ba, but then like very abruptly cuts to ba 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 on the TV, and I just think that's very funny. It's very weird.
So the episode begins at Moe's, and Lenny asks for some change for a 5, and Moe opens the cash register and is immediately attacked by a cobra.
Ouch!
It's all right. He's a snake handler.
Snake in the cash register.
So everyone laughs, and Moe goes, "Oh, that's a great prank." Though he
I'm
acknowledges
gonna
he's
be
going to be
sick tonight. Jesus.
So Barney asks Moe if he wants to smell his flower, and Moe is very excited about the prospect of this. So Moe goes over, and Barney just sets him on fucking fire. And Moe's just like, taking advantage of my alcohol-soaked clothes. Oh, it's funny.
Funny,
it
makes you think.
What does it make you think about, Mo? What does it make you think about?
About
Like
how
a
on fire he
flammable
is.
pose. Yeah,
This
how
is very
flammable
fair.
your
This is
pose.
very fair.
So Moe decides that he's going to black out, so asks Homer for some sugar for his coffee. And Homer just unscrews the top of the sugar and slides it down, and the sugar comes out, and everyone is
What
pissed.
a bastard. I mean, honestly, beyond the pale. Really, this is worse than when Flanders failed.
He went too far though.
It went too
Yeah,
far.
there's sugar all over the bar. And as Barney points out, they
It's
were
not
just
cheap,
messing
that.
around. This immediately prompts Moe to go from 0 to 2,000 by saying,
Yeah.
holding a vote of, let's have Homer banned from the bar. Everyone agrees, and Homer goes, come on, this place is like a tavern to me.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. This place is like a tavern to me.
Moe says, Homer should have thought about that before he gave him the old sugar me do, and then says he's taking his
Sugar-me-doo.
couch.
Sugar me do.
So he decides that the couch is coming down from Mount Lushmore. and-
Mount Lushmore.
So the detail of these hand drawings in this is quite something.
Yeah,
There's
they're
some
great
good drawings.
drawings. I would
Yeah.
love that kind of thing. That'd be so cool. That's what we should get. We should get caricatures of us for our own little Mount Lushmore for the podcast logo.
I mean, maybe. I think most caricatures are like hideously ugly though. But these
Yeah,
are quite
but
fun.
I'm not saying we get caricatures from some twat who failed out of art school. I'm saying get something from online.
Well, a caricature
Al to
of
do
movies can't get much worse.
We'll pay Al to do it. He'll do it.
But Moe also takes Homer's favourite song out of the jukebox, which is
It's Raining Men.
And Moe's response is, yeah, no more. It ain't.
Yeets it out of the window and then it
He
lands
eats it like
in,
a frisbee.
lands
Mr.
in
Smithers' car.
I like how you
Ooh.
always, Michael always gives Smithers his respect and calls him Mr. Smithers. Always.
Yeah.
Yep, so he gets hit in the head with it, goes, ow, and then sees it and goes, ah.
I like his ow. It's so weird.
So Homer literally gets tossed out of the bar and then goes, the joke's on them, I'm still
I'm
alive.
still alive.
So Bart tries to cheer up Homer, and Homer says, you can't do it, and Bart just goes, okay. And Marge's response is, why don't you just pretend that the couch is like a bar? Then you could spend more time with us. And Homer just goes, I'm not going to dignify that with an answer. And Lisa tries to do some Chinese philosophy of that the Chinese use the same word for crisis as they do for opportunity. Homer goes, yes, crisis.
Crisis-tunity.
Opportunity.
This prompts
Good
Homer
line.
to get up and do an inspirational speech about how he's wasted his life in that dump and he's going to go find a new bar and get drunker than he's ever been in his life.
I don't mean to like get us all banned from China, but I think whenever people are like, "Oh yeah, China uses the same word for this that they do that," I'm like, "Yeah, they also use the same sentence for I would like to buy some oranges to I would like to fuck your mother." That doesn't mean the language is clever. It means
Is
it's
that
fucking
true?
stupid. I don't know if it's true, but their language is based on like emphasis and stuff, and you can totally change the meaning of a word just by emphasizing something differently. And I think that's fucking dumb.
think it's Dara O'Brien had a line that was like, the Chinese have the same word for crisis and opportunity, but they also have the same word for China and Taiwan, and it's China.
Well, thank you for getting me banned by China by proxy. I really appreciate it, guys.
I never wanted to go anywhere.
Homer then asks Bart where his wallet is, and Bart pulls it out of his
Right
own
in his
pocket and goes,
pocket.
"Dear,"
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and then Homer goes, "Thanks." So we then go to the first place, and it looks like a very fancy place, and Homer remarks that it's classy.
Oh, this is so
Mate,
good.
The maitre d' comes over to him and goes, "Good evening, sir. Would you mind leaving without a fuss?" And I'm like, okay.
Haven't we seen Homer search for a new bar before? Isn't
He's
this?
been to other bars in Springfield.
Yeah.
He knows other bars in Springfield.
So Homer also knows the place that he walks in, and this looks suspiciously familiar.
I've been here.
Yes, we have.
Michael's been with me as well, yes.
So this suspiciously familiar bar somehow also features several TV characters that are also suspiciously familiar. Like, wait a minute, this is Cheers!
Wait, when did you guys go to America together?
2015, 16, I think.
Oh, right,
Something
fair
like
enough.
that, yeah.
Great.
We went to Boston where the Cheers bar is, and we went to the Cheers bar because it's there.
It was very cold. It was snow.
Were those the actual actors? I know they didn't get Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, they got
No,
all the actual actors
those were-
except for
except
Kelsey
Kelsey
Grammer,
Grammer.
which is
Kelsey Grammer.
wild.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Kelsey Grammer, who's
So-
been on The Simpsons.
I know! Of all the ones you would think they would be able to get, no, the Kelsey Grammer was the only one they couldn't get.
The fact that they could get Ted Danson's great.
I think they just didn't want to share screen time with Woody Harrelson, I guess.
I think it was just scheduling. I think they just couldn't
Yeah.
get hold of him.
I love Ted Danson. I liked Becca. Anyway.
Well, yeah, but apparently Sammy was too old to go on a date with twins, and while he's supposed to be marrying Dan without Rebecca knowing, and he goes, "I'll sell the bar," after his Major League comeback. I don't remember that particular episode of Cheers, but there you go. Woody also gets surprisingly violent, considering his character. He's preparing to kill everyone, and he's restrained by Cliff and says, "It's karaoke night," which this is the point Homer goes, "I'm getting the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
And Norm gets very weepy and just hugs everyone.
I love
and,
you guys. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, sadly don't get where everybody knows your name, which would have been great, but there you go. We then see Homer go to a bar that's filled with loads of females, and
The
Homer...
Shishi Lounge. Love this bit so much.
Something's wrong here.
Yeah, Homer's now going, something's not right, and then he's suddenly...
This
suddenly
lesbian bar
cursing.
doesn't have a fire escape. Enjoy your death trap, ladies.
And then
What
two
was her
women go to the bar and go,
problem?
"What's her problem?" It's just
Oh,
such a
that's
great bit,
such
that.
a good bit. That's so good.
We're back to Moe's, and a man walks in,
Yeah.
wearing his top hat and a mustache, looks suspiciously like Homer, and goes, "May I trouble you for a drink?" And Moe tells Homer to get out, and the guy goes, What are you talking about? My name is Guy Incognito."
Guy
Incognito. We then hear some vicious beating sounds as he's thrown out, and a downbeaten Homer passes him and goes, "Oh, this man's my exact double." Then realizes there's a
That
dog
dog
with
has a fluffy tail.
Just runs off to chase the dog.
This episode, the start of this episode is just a barrage of really good bits, just one after another. And I'm sorry to say this won't last, but like, holy
Yeah.
shit, it's a strong start to an episode.
So Homer gets to the last bar in Springfield, which is an airport bar, and Homer goes, "If they don't
What's
let me
it
in..."
called? Like the little black box or something?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, the black box, yeah.
Homer goes, "If you can't drink, he's going to have to quit drinking." We then get a shot of Homer's stomach as his liver goes, "Yay!"
Yippee!
No, Homer tells his liver to shut, then pushes him down.
Oh,
Goes,
my
liver."
liver.
So Homer goes in, and the bartender tells him he's got to be a pilot if he wants to drink. And Homer goes, "But I am a pilot." He goes, "Well, there's a uniform." And he goes, "I've stored it safely in the overhead compartment." He goes, "Well, that checks out."
You
Here's
talk the talk, here's a loner.
That fits
So-
him perfectly.
Yep.
So, an air traffic controller comes in and says they need a pilot, and says, "Who wants to go to the Windy City?" Everyone's enthusiastic as he points out, "Well,
The
it might be
conditions are a bit windy.
Everyone goes, "Yeah."
Everyone who was just like doubled over the bar, completely wasted, is suddenly very enthusiastic about flying a plane.
I didn't even catch that. That's great. Yeah, that's funny.
So the guy then realizes, because Homer's the only guy that sorts that down, he'll do it, and Homer goes, "Bye." Then the guy perfectly calls him out, and like, "Yeah, you're not just impersonating a pilot so you can drink here, are you?" And then Homer goes, "Yep, that's what I'm doing." And the guy goes, "Oh, you flyboys crack me up," and then drags him off.
I
Then see
keep
Homer
telling
being
you
pushed-
I'm not a pilot, and I keep telling
And
you
the-
flyboys crack me up.
So the co-pilot introduces himself as Alan, and Homer goes, "Yeah, I'm just going to let you do everything. Yeah, I think you're ready for the thing, Alan."
It's a good gambit, does not work.
I love how good the guy playing the co-pilot captures the pilot voice as well.
Yeah, I liked Alan's face of like, you motherfucker.
His pilot voice is "Hello, I'm Alan. I'll be your co-pilot." It's like, oh, I can already hear you telling me how high we're cruising at and at what speeds and what ocean we're flying over. Right?
Oh yeah, you know the direction for this character. It was just like, do the pilot voice.
Do it. Just fucking nail it.
So, Homer says, "I'll get us started," and he goes to the first button. The pilot Alan has to stop him and go, "We need that.
Yeah,
to live."
we need that to live.
Then Homer presses another button. The wheels of the airport retract back in, and the plane.
I love that they just like fucking shoot up, just like whoop, and then slam.
So Homer's then in the airline official, and the airline official tells him before he gets out about this, crazy clown airlines will become a laughingstock. He tells Homer that he can have some free tickets, but anywhere in the United States except Alaska or Hawaii, because they're the freak states.
Freak states.
Homer's excited. Homer tells the family this and says, "We can fly anywhere we want." So, of course, the first two things the kids say are Alaska and Hawaii.
I want to go to Hawaii one day.
Yeah, Hawaii sounds great.
Yeah.
So Marge is a bit reluctant because they're in the middle of the busy housekeeping season. And Homer says she deserves a vacation and a chance to clean up after them in a whole different state.
Yeah, that was good.
Marge tries to pop it up again by saying it seems like a hassle coupled with a burden, and Homer goes, he wants to shake off the dust of this town and explore the world, watch TV in a different time zone, visit exotic malls. He's sick of eating hoagies. He wants to eat a grinder or a sub or a footlong hero. He wants to live. Why won't Marge let him live?
As someone who has watched TV in America, I understand why Homer wants to watch something different. TV in America sucks dick.
Does Homer's little diversion into like the types of sandwiches by region sort of get us back into the subject of where Springfield is? Can we define which state it's in by the fact that they serve hoagies there? Is Springfield in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I was gonna say hoagies is like a East Coast thing.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you're forgetting that hoagies are the national sandwich of Peru.
Oh yeah, obviously I forgot.
My
this,
apologies,
yes,
my apologies. I can't believe we made that mistake.
yeah.
Both me and John will make
insensitivity.
both me and John will make a hearty donation to the Peru Fund. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. So we then see that everyone's on the plane, and Marge is freaking out because she hasn't cleaned the lint from the basket in the dryer.
If someone
And
comes
if
in, if someone breaks into the house and does laundry, it might start a fire.
We then hear a baby crying, and Bart's annoyed that he's had to sit next to a baby, which of course is Maggie
Why isn't Maggie sat with her parents?
for this bit.
Yeah, for the
Because
bit.
there's, I mean, there's only 3 seats in a row. They gotta group them somehow.
We then see Grandpa is looking down, thinking, "Wow, we must be really high up because those people look tiny, just like the inside of a
The
cataract."
inside of a cataract. That's so funny.
A stewardess announces that they've oversold the flight, and the first 2 people in the front will be upgraded to front class. And
Due to their
Well-
policy of overselling flights.
This
Oh, yeah.
flight's been oversold.
So Lisa climbs between everyone's legs as Bart climbs over their heads, and both of them get to the front first. And Lisa's excited because they're going to get pampered, and Bart goes, "Huh!" And Lisa has to go, "Not literally."
Yeah, she said they're gonna pamper us, and Bart Free said, "I don't get it. What's the joke?"
Like treat them like a baby, put nappies on them, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think.
that's
Oh,
what
I
it
didn't
was
really
thinking.
understand that. That's what pampering meant. I just thought
Honestly,
it
you
meant...
get like Pampers, right?
Yeah, I
As a
think
brand
that's
of
what it
nappies.
was.
I think that's what I was going for.
Oh, fair enough.
So we cut to the kids in first class, and Bart is drinking milk out of a martini glass, and he's like, "I'm here for the leg room."
Oh, I would fucking kill for more legroom on flights, man. Holy shit.
And Lisa's roasting a marshmallow in the fire that's in her.
Just the fold down fireplace in the front of the seat in front. Yeah.
So the plane's about to take off, and Marge begins hyperventilating and begins to think she wants to go take a picture of the plane taking off. And Homer tries to work out what's wrong with her and kind of settles on gassy and goes, "Gassy? It's gas.
Yeah, you gas?
Gas,
It's
isn't it?"
gas. It's gas, isn't it?
Also love that Marge's hair is too big to fit into the room above the seat. It's like it's folded back against the ceiling.
Yep.
So Marge finally reveals that she's not a good flyer and that she needs to get off the plane, and she's going into a full freak out. And Homer says, "Don't worry, we'll dope you. What if we dope you up real good?" This just prompts Marge to run up and down the aisle going, "Let me off, let me off, let me off."
I don't think they would let you off for that, but they do let them off.
Yep, we see the plane taking off to triumphant music, and the family are actually watching take off, and Homer reassures them by going, "We don't need to go away, we'll just wait for the killer bees to come to us."
What a weird thing to say.
That's what Homer was going on holiday for, the killer bees.
Isn't that what we all want to go on holiday for?
Oh,
Yeah.
So the family back at home unpacking, and Bart goes, "I think we forgot something," and Abe makes the Kevin McAllister face as he realizes he's still on the plane. But of course, I'm sure it's nothing. So Lisa tries to get Marge to talk, and Marge is the voice of the whole thing as And Homer reveals that she's got a fear of flying, but goes so much, so I can't say that at least my mother's normal. Marge says, well, everyone's got a fear of something. And Homer goes, not everyone. Marge then yells out the word
Sock
sock puppets,
puppets.
and Homer completely freaks out. And Marge still doesn't want to talk and walks away with a very dysfunctional face.
Yeah, this all seemed like a very extreme reaction to a phobia, especially when you are no longer being exposed to the thing you are phobic of.
Yeah. It's like, okay, this happened, but you are home now. And
Yeah,
safe. Like, you don't need to keep reacting to the fear.
It felt like they couldn't think of a way to set up the plot, so they just kind of decided, okay, Marge went fucking insane. I guess you could say PTSD, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the whole plot felt a bit contrived this time. They had an idea and they were trying to make it work, and I'm not convinced they pulled it off. But we'll get to all that at the end.
So Homer tells Lisa that the best thing they can do for Marge is to let her repress what happened and push it down deep so she'll never annoy them again. Lisa's response to this is, it could come out in other ways, and at which point Marge brings out the dog and the cat saying,
We never had a marriage for the cat and the dog. They've been living in sin.
At which point both the pets go,
Do you think they're making that face because they don't want to have a marriage, or because they've been caught for living in sin and they're embarrassed?
a little from column A and a little from column B, I think.
Ah, yes. How wise of you.
So we cut to the next scene, and Marge is making full-on food, and she's been cooking all night, and Lisa tries to point out to Homer this isn't healthy, and of course Marge keeps saying, no, it's fine, and then Marge has a nervous tick of, don't complain, be good, be nice.
I like as well that when Lisa points out, Lola asks, have you been cooking all night? You know, in a sense that she's been pointing out the obvious. Marge then says, judge, jury, and executioner you are. I'm like, holy shit, what?
Also, I like the fact Marge had made a wedding cake in the oven.
Well, what else are you going to do with your
There's
free time?
3 tiers of that in the oven, yep. With the icing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Homer's response to Marge walking off is, you've heard your mother's ramblings, she's fine, so behave.
So behave.
So we cut to the next sound, we hear banging in the night, and Homer looks out the window and goes, Marge, it's 3 a.m. as she's doing roofing.
Shouldn't you be baking?
Marge is now sitting on the couch, and the family approach, and Lisa goes, can we talk? And Marge goes, nope, I'm giving myself in a state of cat-like readiness. And Lisa goes, oh, you're neat.
Neat.
Lisa suggests therapy, and Marge is like, nope, I don't want therapy. It's not fine. And Homer goes, it's too expensive, and I don't believe in it. Because it breaks up families, turns wives against husbands, children against fathers, neighbours against me. And he says...
Homer's got some history of that.
Homer's got some issues.
So Homer says, we don't need a fancy psychiatrist to get top-notch therapy, and
You
then
need to
see
pay
them.
someone $10 an hour to get top-notch therapy.
So instead they call him the KPL radio psychic, and the psychic goes, you will die a
You will
terrible
die a
death. And Marge
horrible,
goes,
terrible, terrible death. Oops, sorry, that was the last caller. No, wait, I'm getting something. You will die a terrible, terrible death. Thank you for calling Radio Psychic. Do you have a song request?
and yep, it's Raining Men.
Raining Men!
What's this?
So Homer tries a new thing of Dear Abby's solution, which is watch some films about air travel, and goes, here's some upbeat titles, which include Hero, Fearless, and Alive. So we cut to Marge actually watching Alive, and we just hear someone
This
go,
bit
"No,
was insanely dark.
yeah, so
Holy shit.
yep, so this is an actual film based on
Yes,
an actual
it's
real
a real
event.
story.
Is this an actual line from the film?
No,
I
I
don't,
think
I
so.
don't remember Ethan Hawke saying this, if I'm honest. Yeah, but the line of, no thanks to the plane, many of us are still alive. That's technically not true, because I think no one says weren't that many. And we then start hearing chewing noise, and pass me a hunk of co-pilot.
Oh, it's so grim, dude.
Just like to plot synopsis, yep, they do resort to cannibalism. Huh, okay.
Yeah, this was a real thing that happened.
And yeah, I'm sort of vaguely aware of it as a film about a plane disaster, but like, yeah, okay.
The real
Didn't know
event.
that.
It's a plane crash in the Andes.
Yes,
So,
hooray.
yep, very cheery. So Lisa points out that Marge is getting worse, and they have to take her to a therapist. So how tense she is, and Homer says she's fine, and we look at the Marge is physically off the sofa.
She's like hovering on the floor.
Yeah, they've staged the entire previous scene from such a camera angle that it looks like she's on the sofa, and then you just get a different angle, and she's just hovering.
Homer's response to this is just, oh.
Oh,
So we then see the family have gone to the therapist, and Homer's annoyed with Lisa because she's gone away, and he says, she's going to tell Marge to leave me, and they'll break up the family, and you have to go live with your grandmother and pick beans. And Lisa goes, but I like picking beans with grandma. And
Well,
Homer goes,
keep it up then.
fine. She goes, okay, I will. And he goes, yeah, you do that. Fine. You'll be picking many a bean. Hope I do.
I do.
I do.
I did quite like this interaction. Because it's so spiteful.
Yep.
We then cut to Barton recognizing Principal Skinner, who tries to cover up his appearance with a
Principal's
magazine
World with his face on it.
That's very good.
So Bart says he wouldn't think he'd win this season. And Skinner tells him, it's nothing to do with you. I have many issues with my beloved Smother.
I mean, Mother.
And Homer tells Bart to leave that man alone with his pain. So Bart walks away and Homer started laughing at Skinner.
Leave him alone with his pain. Fucking hell.
So Homer asks the therapist how much he charges, and he goes, I charge on a sliding scale and can go as low as 30 an hour, and Homer goes, keep sliding.
No, another guest appearance, a lot of guest appearances on this episode. We've got Anne Bancroft playing the therapist in this.
All right, fair enough.
Homer asks what her qualifications are, and then she points to the wall behind her and goes, Homer says, I'm not taking a reading test, I must see some credentials. Marge apologises and says he's just afraid you're going to blame all the problems on him, and she goes, I'm not here to blame him, and we see the
The little
pad that just
notepad,
says husband. So the therapist starts explaining the intense process of therapy, and they're going to delve deeply into work out what the fear of flying is, and she says, don't worry, it's a private sanctuary. Then we see Homer come out of the window dressed up as a window cleaner, and Marge is like, that's just Murray the window cleaner, comes at 12. Marge goes, but it's a few seconds before 12, and then Murray actually appears and just knocks Homer down.
Lambs down on top of him. Great.
Marge comes out of her first therapy session, and Homer goes, ever since you started therapy, all you do is talk about yourself, and what about me? And Marge goes, I just left my first session, I haven't even opened my mouth, and Homer goes, you see, I just said my first session, and I haven't opened my mouth yet. So we cut to Marge's next therapy session, and she's talking about fear of flying, and that's what the earliest memory of something bad happening to her is, and we see that's Marge's first day of school, of Patty and Selma toying with her and saying they use a fire drill to drill a flaming hole in her head, and they make them go to the bathroom at the same time.
In a giant bathroom and giant toilet.
Yeah. So we then see Marge get onto the school bus, and she gets mocked for a monkey's lunchbox, and as you just pointed out, they don't write their own songs or play their own instruments, and that's not even Michael Naismith's real hat.
I like how that's the breaking point for Marge.
The therapist says kids can be cruel, but Marge has to point out, well,
It's true.
And then the therapist is like, they weren't about music, they were about rebellion and social upheaval. Marge is like, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they could have done something with turning Marge into a rebel there that would have been fun, but that does not happen.
They could have done anything.
I guess we just had a moment with the monkeys, I guess. We then see the family watching TV, and Homer asks if he was mentioned in therapy, and Marge says nope, and Homer panically shouts, tell me the truth. And then he's like, don't tell her I knows my voice, and he starts patting him on the head. Happy family, happy family. We then get to the next strange section of therapy, and Marge says she thinks she was the mother in Lost in Space, and we get a Lost in Space reenactment.
Yeah, it's like a whole, they look to it like a whole bit.
Of Homer as Dr. Smith, and he does the Dr. Smith voice about how his godforsaken planet has vanquished his appetite, then sits down. Nom, 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 nom. Lisa is the robot, and when she tells on Dr. Smith for not doing his astro chores, and
Astro chores.
And Homer does his the pain of it all in my back. And robot Lisa goes, my arms are flailing.
Yeah, it's like,
heavily.
warning, my arms are flailing wildly.
Then the rocket takes off, and Marge goes, take me with me, Daddy. And the therapist goes, are you aware you said please don't leave me to your daddy? And Marge goes, no, I didn't. She goes, yes, you did. And you also infringed on
several copyrights.
Therapist wants to talk about Marge's father, and Marge goes, oh yeah, you mean Father Christmas, and goes on an entire rant about England, about how we drive on the wrong side of the road, and
that's crazy.
Yep. And England can't fit in the therapist's office. And she goes,
Yeah,
oh,
people say
England
is small, but you couldn't fit it all in this office.
So the therapist makes Marge come back and talk about her father, and Marge goes, you'll make a big deal out of this, but he was a pilot. And he goes, that is a big deal. So Marge is about to talk, and the therapist goes, your last check bounced. Marge goes, wait, I'm remembering some gifts, but there's still a matter of me being paid. But Marge is in full flashback mode now.
Can't stop someone in flashback mode. It's the law. If you wake someone up out of a flashback, they might attack you.
Mm-hmm. Might even die.
Marge's dad gets onto a plane, and Marge asks why he's leaving, and Marge's mum points out, he's a pilot, and Marge wants to see her dad fly, and then goes onto the plane.
Why
and
are
it's
they
like,
just
no, Marge,
stood
no.
on the runway?
For convenience, I guess.
For the bit, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it was the Shrug 60s ? And you could just like hang around on a runway.
True.
I don't know what era this would have been.
So Marge gets on the plane and is looking around, and it's revealed that Marge's father was actually a steward. And as he's serving Fig Newtons, Marge
Don't
freaks
look
out.
at me!
Yep, there's a lot of freaking out. So Marge is upset that her dad was a stewardess, and therapist points out there's nothing to be ashamed of, that male flight attendants and stewards are common. And she says, yeah, your father was a trailblazer. You could even say he was a pioneer. And Marge goes, yeah, he was an American hero. And he goes, let's not go nuts.
Let's not go crazy.
So the therapist is happy that they've got the point of Marge's exact fear of flying, but Marge starts to remember some other stuff, which
Some more stuff's coming back to me.
which includes Marge being poked in the eyes with the food as in the guise of the aeroplane.
It's a baby, just for context.
Yeah. And the Marge in the toy aeroplane, which catches fire, and the thing that I'm pretty certain probably was the start of Marge's phobia for flying.
Quite
Just looking at a cornfield, and then a fighter plane came out and started randomly firing on them.
Admittedly, that was a nice cornfield.
It was. Marge then asked the therapist, do you think this contributed? And the therapist is just like, oh yeah, it's all a rich tapestry.
Yeah, she's like bored of her now. Like, go away.
So Marge is like, thank you, you've changed my life. And she goes, well, we've only begun to scratch the surface. We need to discuss your husband. And Homer comes into the room and goes, no, it's okay, you've made a
Where the fuck did Homer come
from?
Mhm.
So Marge thanks the doctor and says, whenever the wind whistles through the leaves, she'll think Lowenstein. And the therapist points out, my name is Zig.
Lowenstein. Lowenstein.
Cut to the final thing, and the family are getting onto a plane, and Homer reassures Marge he's going to help her get through it. And he tells her all the noises, which include the luggage compartment closing and the cross-checking, and tells her to relax. So we cut to the outside of the plane, and Homer's going, that's the engine powering up. Then that's just the engine struggling. Then it rides straight into a river, and Homer goes, that's just the corp going around your ankles. And Marge is annoyed. And that's your episode, folks.
Yeah.
Yep. What an episode.
What an episode. 2 nothing burgers in a row. Is it my birthday?
But the first 10 minutes of it were great.
Oh, yeah. The opening's brilliant.
Yeah. Right up until they got on a plane.
We've had that a couple times, though, that the opening gag is like way funnier than the rest of the episode.
Yeah, the way they handle it is because they're almost completely independent. They're like, might as well be separate episodes.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, yeah, it was a good episode and a bad episode all in one.
Yeah, kind of. Do we have our out of Homer's?
Taxiing into a river out of Homer. It started promising, at least.
I gave it.
I'm giving it a...
Oh, go for it.
I'm giving it a no thanks to the plane. Some of us are still alive.
I gave it a as forgettable as the source of our fears out of Homer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What did I have to say about society?
It's tricky again because, yes, there's a joke about an emasculating career, but then it immediately follows it with how normal that is now. You know, so again, it does the same thing as the previous episode. And then there's also kind of the tired joke of a guy being scared of his wife going to therapy because it'll turn her against him, which I guess is noteworthy. But again, I just don't feel like that was like an intentional beyond the gag. You know, I just think they were just making the gag. I don't think they were trying to make a statement about, you know, men being uncomfortable with their wives going to therapy.
Yeah, I mean, if the therapy thing was saying anything, like, my takeaway from it was that all your issues come from childhood trauma, which, because, like, they just keep drilling down on that. It's like, what happened in your childhood? What happened in your childhood? Did this happen? Did this happen? Like, nothing else in your life could ever impact you in any meaningful way.
Yeah.
Whatever your fears are, this is because of something that happened to you as a kid, which is just, like, categorically not true. But, like, they really seem to think that it is.
Yeah.
I think my biggest takeaway to that society is that lesbian bars don't have fire escapes.
That is the
They
biggest
should.
statement that they should have really drilled down to,
Make sure you got a fire escape in your lesbian bar, yeah.
and then have a fire drill. Make sure all those
Drills a
lesbians
hole into your head.
know, you know, make sure all those lesbians know where to go.
Mm.
Cheers is a great place for karaoke.
Ain't it just?
Well, you weren't wrong. This did run shorter than 2 hours for once. Huh?
Oh, dear.
No kidding.
So,
Yeah, Fear of Flying really was nothing of an episode.
Yeah.
I disagree with you on the first one. Grampa versus Sexual Inadequacy, I think, like, had some good shit. Fear of Flying just really just dropped off to become nothing of an episode.
If we
after,
could have
like,
taken the first 10 minutes out, if we could have taken the first 10 minutes out of Fear of Flying and put it in place of the B plot in that first episode, I think we would have had an out of Homer there.
Damn.
Yeah, it's not even 10 minutes, it's 7. It's a good long Simpsons fake out intro. It's 7 minutes before they suddenly like, okay, Homer's crashed a plane, let's do some therapy. But like to read into the production of this episode, like the entire premise that they were working from is, what if Marge went to therapy for some reason? And that's kind of all they really seem to be
That's fucking lazy.
building on. And it's like such a weak premise. Like, come up with something, guys. I mean, I guess they did, and it was Fear of Flying, huh? But I don't know. It was kind of nothing. Oh well.
Agreed.
Sometimes they happen. Sometimes they're not all bangers, and it makes a nice, easy editing job for me.
Oh, aren't you lucky?
Shall we advertise our shit?
Yeah,
go
go
on,
on. Unless anyone really wants to pull some more shit out their ass
No,
for
I've
these
got
two.
nothing, man. I got nothing for these for this episode.
Yeah, fair enough. Go on. Tell us what you're up to, Matt.
Folks, a new episode of All for Arnold is should be out before this episode airs. If it doesn't, I will have to submit to a forfeit. So pray for
there's
me.
an incentive for me to edit this.
Yeah,
Huh.
there you go. There you go.
So expect us out tonight.
we watched Red Heat. Was an interesting film. John took me through some revelations about how I judge films. It was very interesting. But yeah, interesting film. We'll obviously spoil our thoughts on it. But, you know, definitely a good episode. I think we had some good chats. And it was fun to meet Lawrence Fishburne's little brother. You'll understand that if you go listen to the show. Beyond that, I'm still doing my voice acting stuff, so please go wishlist Spooky Tales on Steam. It's coming out in October. I'm very, very excited about it. I've got a couple other voice acting roles that I can't talk about just yet, so that's cool in the sense that I'm not allowed to talk about them. Beyond that, do I do anything else? Oh, I do this stupid show called Bowman in the Morning. There's that as well.
You should listen to that.
You should listen to that.
Michael?
Right, you can find me on Button Mash Horse on Blue Sky if you particularly want to. A gentle reminder, as always, that our past catalogue of stuff is available on Spotify and Apple Music if you would like to listen to our previous versions before we went onto YouTube fully. But our YouTube backlog, which I always forget this, starts around late season 4, is there for your viewing, and we do appreciate it. Please feel free to like and comment on our videos. It does help.
Yeah, we are still on Spotify and Apple. To be clear, there is an audio version.
No,
There's
I've
still a
deleted
video
them
version of
all.
this.
They're all gone.
Have you? Oh, no. Well, that wasn't very charitable of you, was it?
No, I'm a bastard.
I've given you a segue there, John.
Oh yeah.
What, for a charity fundraiser that I did yesterday? That's done now. It's gone. It's finished. Too late.
I take back my segue. Sorry.
I take back my segue. What a line.
I probably won't put it in the description because I have now done the thing, but it is a Just Giving page. They don't really take down Just Giving pages when the thing's over unless you like actively make the effort to. So I guess it's still there. Go find it on my Blue Sky or in the description of previous videos. But yes, I hiked 19 miles through the Black Mountains in order to raise, at time of recording, once you include like entry fees and donations and gift aid and everything, is like about £400 for mountain rescue.
Yeah, well, that deserves a round of applause. I have
That
no
doesn't
idea.
come through Discord. I assume you applauded. Thank you for your assumed applause.
Yes, that's fine.
So yeah, maybe I'll do that again next year. Maybe I won't. All things considered, on it, I don't think the hike was a very interesting hike. It was a lot of very, very samey terrain. I'm sorry to say. Sorry, Black Mountains. Sorry, Mountain Rescue. Please find more interesting hikes in future. But we did it. We raised money. So that was the important part.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, as referenced, I do have a Blue Sky account. You can find me at maroka.bsky.social. I have an old YouTube account, which is youtube.com/buttonmash. Once in a blue moon, once in an eon, a new video may yet appear. Who knows? Not sure what the fate of that channel is at this point, but it's still there. There's still old videos. I went back and rewatched my Reckless Disregard for Gravity video because Matt was saying it was good.
I really like
It was
that
quite
video.
good, actually. Yeah, it's a good video. Yeah, I forgot I made a good video.
I forget I do good things occasionally.
Yeah, no, it is easy to do, honestly. Sometimes you go back and you're like, oh shit, yeah, I was really cooking with that one, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I've rewatched that video probably more than I've watched any of your other videos.
Amazing. For an obscure video comparing a remake of an obscure indie video game, it's good if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, that'll probably do us for today, I think.
You're welcome, everybody.
See you next time. I think we will have guests on for a banger of an episode, is my intention next time. But I have yet to approach the guests, so I don't promise anything. But I'm hoping that's going to be the case, so maybe look forward to that.
Woo! Woo!
Woo!
A lot of
All
words
right.
going on there.
Hasta la
See you
vista,
later.
babies.
Hi, everybody.